So I'm not gonna front. I used to really not like punching, and then there's a fella that I watch on YouTube quite a bit that you all might know named Mikey Balls, and it's been a while back now. He probably wouldn't even remember it. It was such a little, like, it was like a 3-minute video, and it just said, "You hate punching for bass." That was the title. And it was basically just him punching off a bunch of good fish out of some mats and stuff like that. And I said, you know what? I kind of do hate punching, and I probably shouldn't because I live in Florida. So, get to punching. You see, you start catching them. There's one. There's one. All right. All right. Oh, you're foul hooked, ain't you? No, well, yeah, you're hooked in the mouth. Okay, okay. Hey, ho, chill, dog, chill. Chill, bud. Not a bad one. $16 3/4. Not the quality that we're really looking for, but that's okay. That was funny. I didn't even realize that fish was on there until I went to go pull up and then just felt him out of nowhere. Just goes to show you. To be paying attention all the time when you're punching. Could have very easily just completely missed that fish. So I'm not going to pretend to be like some master of punching. I haven't really been doing it very long. The one thing that I will say is it's not unlike grass fishing with any other bait, really, in the regard that you want to try to find the highest percentage areas that you can, and start there. At the very least, start there. You may have to fish other stuff because your high percentage areas don't work out for whatever reason, maybe because of pressure, maybe because you're just wrong, and you got to kind of adapt on the fly. But high percentage areas are going to be anything that's isolated, anything that's off like the main body of grass that you're looking at. Like right out here in front of me, we got this giant mat, and there's some water lettuce mixed in and stuff like that, but it's all hydrilla. So all of this hydrilla sitting out here looks exactly the same to the fish, you know what I mean, until you see these little pockets, little points, all of that type of stuff. Those are going to be your higher percentage areas. Start with the small stuff that's isolated out in front of the larger bodies of vegetation that you're looking at, and then work your way into the big stuff. But start with anything that makes a point, anywhere there's a little pocket, there's a hole maybe. So the idea is to just get it right inside the edge of that to start with. Get right inside the edge and then work your way back into the mat. Point that I picked up from another YouTuber, the Mikey Balls, who I mentioned earlier, was when you're punching, you always want to start on the edge of the mat first and work your way back, because you don't want to be starting in the back and then dragging your bait over the mat that you're punching and disturbing it, basically. Remember, bass love differences, so you're always looking for the differences. If you have a giant mat out in front of you, it can be really intimidating to try to dissect, and it can be difficult. You can spend a whole lot of time flipping a whole lot of baits and not catching anything. So try to start with the areas like this where the grass comes out and makes a point that's attractive to a fish. Any kind of little outcropping that sits off, like this right over here, those are all going to be higher percentage areas than just getting back in here and flipping all of this, because that's going to take some time, and you may not even have to go that far. The isolated stuff is just about always the best from what I've found so far with punching. Just like if you're fishing a swim bait or you're fishing a jig, a swim jig, chatterbait, anything like that. You always want to try to find those isolated clumps of stuff first and then work your way in from there. So you're just going to pitch it into the grass, let it punch through, yo-yo it up and down a couple of times, maybe bring it to the top of the mat and shake it, and then pull it right back out. Right on to the next spot. Pretty quick way to cover the grass, and you can be pretty efficient with it. Just keep it moving. Hearing that braid squeak. Oh, there it is. There it is. Love that sound. Yeah, it's a little guy, but whatever. He's probably 14 and a half, 15. He ain't that big. 2-pounder. Oh boy. He got